Hi, everyone. Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I have my friend Marika with us, and she's from Lawtie. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much.
Thanks for making the time for me. So, before we talk about Lawtie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Marika. I'm originally from Italy, but half of my family is also from Macedonia, so I define myself as both. And I've been studying in Italy for all my life until I was 16. And then I received a scholarship for the United World Colleges, who are 18 different colleges all around the world. And I was specifically selected for the one in Germany in Freiburg. And that's the reason why at the age of 16, I left and went alone from Rome in Italy to Freiburg in Germany. And I've spent there 2 years and I finished the IB program. And in these 2 years, I also applied to different American universities, and one of those was Georgia Tech. And that's where I'm currently studying physics with a minor in German. So that's been, in a nutshell, my journey. And it was facilitated through this both the scholarship that I received for the United World Colleges, but specifically the American scholarships that I received for the Georgia Institute of Technology came from a program called RISE. And RISE is a selective program for young people all around the world, and they select 100 people every year based on projects they have done that had a specific social impact. The one I did was related to waste management. So I wrote a short paper about how could we do a sustainable waste to energy plant that takes waste, burns it, and produce energy. But the problem of a lot of these facilities that they emit a lot of components like dioxins and carbon dioxide that are definitely not good for our environment. And the whole scope of the paper was finding a way to kind of minimize this type of emissions, but also compensate them with other chemicals that reduce them. And through this paper, I managed to get my RISE scholarship. And also some social impact that this paper had was done through different events in a organization called Cittadini del Mondo, that literally means citizens of the world, and it was located also in Rome. And I did my event there, explained what this type of facility would do and how it would improve the current ones. And through this work, I got the scholarship and I went to Georgia Tech. So that's basically the whole story.
That is the backstory. All right, so today you came on the show to talk a little bit about Lawtie. Why did you
Yes.
start this? What need, what opportunity did you see, my friend?
So I was at the United World Colleges, and there are 198 people from all around the world. And one struggle that a lot of us was the one of not being able of expressing ourselves directly to the world because there were adults in the way, there were legal procedures in the way, and there are a lot of constraints for us to speak up. And a lot of maybe legal issues that other people had were not solved in a proper way because they did not have the means to do that, meaning that maybe their pro bono lawyers for these legal procedures were not as engaged in their process or simply did not have even the resources to find one. So Lot High, hearing these different stories from different people, personal stories from friends, etc., wants to give the opportunity to people, especially under 25, that are citizens of the country where Lota is located, or non-citizens under 35, to give them the opportunity of their voices to be heard in a way. And the reason for that is a lot of young people don't even know they have the possibility to get access to law resources because they are so much constrained by this jargon and really fancy word that a lot of people do not even understand what the whole article is about, for example. And a lot of times I find myself within bureaucratic documents needing to put the document in AI and say, can you please summarize this for me using normal vocabulary, for example. So the whole idea wants to give access to these people who are young and don't understand the law resources they need. And it's done in a way that there are three layers in it. The first one is an AI law trained chat box. So it gives only verified law resources, and the person can ask a lot of questions about, I have this problem. Will be my condition solved, for example, by using a pro bono lawyer? If the answer from this chat box, which is still to verify is yes, then the person can kind of start to activate to find a pro bono lawyer. In the moment they find one and they're not satisfied with it, or they just would like the pro bono lawyer to be more engaged, the second phase of LOTI activates, which means the person under 25 or under 35 non-citizen writes a report to LOTI and tells them, okay, I have my lawyer, this the lawyer's name, this is my case. Can you please contact my lawyer and tell them if they can join the LOTI platform? And at this point, the third layer of LOTI activates, which is the whole core of it, which means partnering the pro bono lawyer with the law students. And it is a very simple idea, but the process behind it is pretty complicated because there's a lot of legal stuff in between, and also because law students usually don't have a lot of time for it. But if this LawTi platform could allow the students to get credits, university credits for it, then they would be more likely to do it because they get experience. And law students are very much idealistic a lot of times. They want to have a good impact in the world, and that's amazing. But as far as you go with your career, sometimes these social driven attitudes tends to kind of smooth out. So it's really good to use this energy and this kind of feeling to do good to the world as long as they are at the beginning of their studies and the beginning of their career. And as you partner them with lawyers, they can get experience, they can get recommendations, they can get verified certificates saying they did this and that could help them for future opportunities. So the whole structure would be AI chatbox, law trained, then the person writing us a report to engage the pro bono lawyer in the program. And the third step is matching through the law type platform the pro bono lawyer to a law student so that they can help him out to do all the bureaucracy part and all these other kind of legal procedures that maybe do not allow the pro bono lawyer to invest as much time in the case as they would like to. Because the most important part at the end is the strategy and the whole legal thought of it in a way that it a person acquires through experience. So if they need to do also all the paperwork and all of this and that, they might not think about that as much because they have a very limited time. So if we delegate that part of the work to a student, maybe they can just focus on the strategy and be more effective and successful.
So tell me about the challenge of finding bono lawyers. Has that been easy for you?
It's definitely not. And we've done a lot of surveys, and we are still in the process of sending it out to a lot of lawyers, especially in the UK, United States, Germany, and Italy, because these are like the countries have been more easy to reach out to at the moment. And we're doing these surveys, and what comes out a lot is that if a lot of lawyers say, for example, this is a amazing idea. But it's very difficult to find time. It's very difficult procedurally. But also in contact with our financial advisor, they said there are ways to make this possible, and we are like slowly building up to that. And we hope that in the next few months we'll be able to be registered officially as a nonprofit organization in Italy. So it's definitely not easy to find lawyers who are willing to do that and to help out, especially at the first stage of the process, because once the organization is established, it's gonna be definitely be easier. But right now it is hard. But we hope to through these surveys, when we ask if we can have their emails, for example, to contact them further for user interviews and user testing, then slowly we're building up. And we don't need a lot of lawyers at the beginning. We just need some support. So we're trying to find our lawyers, and we are slowly starting to do so.
So it's crystal ball time, my friend. Looking 3 years out, where do you see this idea?
So I think in 3 years, a lot of achievements can be done. The first one I would feel is the most important is finding a big community of law students that are interested in this. So this is almost certainly the easiest part between finding lawyers and finding law students, because law students are very much prompted in finding work opportunities, finding internship opportunities. So I would say that's the easiest part. So by 3 years, I think that's gonna be done. The other one is building the AI chatbox law trained. I think in 3 years also that one will be done. What we hope that in 3 years will be done is definitely this mentorship and partnership program, because yes, we may have all the lawyers, we may have all the law students, and in 3 years, what is going to be a delicate transition is building at this point the connection and making the process really work. So I feel that 3 years will be just the right amount of time to make LawTi work efficiently.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more about your idea?
You can definitely send me an email at maricapescosolito@gmail.com, or you can write on my LinkedIn. You can definitely find me there as well.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you so much.